Okay, so why do I want to talk about the environment and electric cars? So I'm concerned about our planet, and I'm concerned about the atmosphere. As you know, humanity in general, we've sort of really been messing up our atmosphere and our environment ever since we started farming, actually, thousands of years ago. But it really got worse in the last few hundred years when the Industrial Revolution started, and then we really started spitting out stuff into the atmosphere. So, as you can see, this is the only planet I know of where we can go out and we can breathe nicely, and it's a great place to be, and it would be nice to keep it that way. So the first thing I want to just talk about is greenhouse gases. What are those? I'm sure you already know, but if you remember from our chemistry classes, our atmosphere is composed mostly of nitrogen, which I think is about 79%. Then we have oxygen, which I think is about 19%, and then the last 1 or 2% are sort of other gases, many of which we call greenhouse gases. And the reason we call them greenhouse gases is because it makes the Earth work a bit like a greenhouse, where the sun's heat and light comes in, but then it gets trapped. It gets, as it tries to bounce back, it gets reflected back. It kind of raises the overall temperature, and that's sort of what's been going on with the Earth. The average temperature of the Earth, as we've now noticed, has been going up. And we've noticed it in the last 50 to 70 years. And we really haven't done much about it. And there are even some people that we call climate change deniers that don't even agree that we're responsible for it. And I think, to me anyway, it's fairly obvious that we humans are responsible for climate change, which is to do with the average temperature of the planet. And of course, last year and the year before were like the hottest years. And it's got nothing to do with weather, where it might get really cold on a certain day or really hot. It's to do with the average. So anyway, so one of the biggest components of greenhouse gases is carbon dioxide. And of course, that comes from a variety of sources. Can we go to the next slide? You just hit escape. Or you can even close this website. So next slide. So this is just looking at the transportation sector, and here you can see we've got carbon dioxide being produced by ships and trucks, etc. But the biggest portion is light-duty vehicles, right there. Light-duty vehicles, we're talking about cars, okay, SUVs and regular passenger cars. So let's go to the next slide. So cars seems to be quite a major component. Now we as individuals, I don't really know what we can do to help this problem, which to me seems like a huge problem. And as humanity, how we're going to deal with this, I have no idea. But as individuals, what can we do? I think one of the things we do have a choice over is what we drive. And what we drive does have an effect on how much carbon dioxide and perhaps other gases that we emit into the atmosphere. So if we look at the biggest countries, if you like, is really China and the US, and then probably India and others, that are the sort of the biggest contributors of emissions into the atmosphere. So worldwide, we've got about 1.2 billion cars in the world. We've got about the annual plug-in sales in 2018 were 2 million. If we look at USA, we've got about 276 million vehicles. The annual sales in 2018 was 17 million. The US plug-in sales, and this is interesting, in 2017 was 200,000, which is about 1%, and in 2018 was 2%. So in 2018, the amount of electric cars that people purchased, it was twice as much as it was in 2017, which is interesting. So it doubled there. So next slide. And this graph depicts it somewhat the same thing that I just said, which is that the purchase of electric cars, or the adoption of electric cars, has been going up steadily. But right now, 2017, we've sort of exceeded 1%. This is just USA we're talking about. And in 2018, we actually did 2%. So it looks like we're right at that cusp there of the curve here, the exponential curve. So it looks like it's going to be an exponential curve, and we're just starting. And the more we get involved, the more we can help this curve move in the direction we want it to move. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, stop right there. So this also sort of depicts exactly what I've been saying, which is that the adoption of electric cars is really going up pretty quickly. And so yellow represents 2018 and blue represents 2017. So you can see that on a monthly basis, year over year, we're sort of increasing the amount of cars that are being purchased. So that's huge. So can you scroll down a bit more, please? Yes. So now this actually shows you the cars by manufacturer. So can you scroll down? Yeah. And then can you just scroll that way? Okay. So this shows us our totals, which was like the 1% and 2% in the USA. But can you go ahead and scroll back up again, please? Here, what you can see, these are the car sales we manufacture, and what you'll notice, and unfortunately you can't see the whole numbers here, but the actual numbers back here. What you'll see is the amount of cars that the Tesla Model 3 sold was huge compared to the next one, which in this case is Toyota, Prius Prime, and then all of the others. And there really is a huge difference with the amount of Tesla Model 3s that were sold last year versus any of the other manufacturers. So let's move to the next slide, please. Okay. Anyway, so the last thing I just want to say is Tesla's the only company, as far as I can tell, that actually has a mission to help with this problem. So the mission is to accelerate the advent of sustainable transport by bringing compelling mass market electric cars to the market as soon as possible. So I want to just end this by saying, when you're thinking about your next car, please consider an electric car. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Shiv. So again, on behalf of the Managers Forum, we want to thank you for doing it. And we have a jacket for you.
Oh, great.
Yeah.